All right, well, welcome again to our Studio 101 online class. We're providing this class tonight after having received many requests for a beginning level studio class. We're calling it Getting Started Part 1 because we plan on holding more beginning level classes in the coming months. Okay, I'm going to skip back for a sec. That was me. We're excited that you joined us, and we are happy to be partners with you as you start to do more with your photos and celebrate your stories. Again, I'm Cynthia Coulon. I'm the Heritage Makers Studio Product Manager. I'm here at the home office in Provo, Utah. And joining us from Georgia is our talented and wonderful and delightful creative team manager, Roxanne Buckholtz. And we also have Brooke Mayer on the class with us tonight. You probably won't hear her speak, but if you type a question into that question box, into that control panel that's on your screen, Brooke is the one who will answer you. And Roxanne and I will also do our best to keep track of the questions being asked, and we'll answer many of those live and demonstrate answers when that applies. So again, this is our beginning level class. Tonight we're going to really just give you an overview of Heritage Makers, a brief overview, our products and our different account types. I'll show you a bit about navigating our website, and then Roxanne will take us into starting a project. In subsequent classes, for example, we have one next month. It will be on a Thursday evening, March 27th, just like this. In subsequent classes, we'll go ahead and focus entirely on working inside Studio, on those how-tos and techniques of customizing and designing projects. So again, welcome to you all. We surely appreciate your interest in Heritage Makers and hope you'll find the time that you spend with us valuable. One of the things we like to do on our live webinars is give away publishing points to attendees. So I've pulled a name out of our attendee list, and that name is Linda Cosper, C-O-S-P-E-R. Thanks for joining us, Linda, and we're going to get 20 points into your Heritage Makers account. And if you don't have one, we do have your email, so we can notify you and we can make sure you get one set up. So at Heritage Makers, we believe that photos without stories are memories lost. This is a phrase coined by one of our founders, Dr. Sharon Murdoch. We invite people everywhere to do more with their photos because they can be so much more than pixels on a screen. They can be so much more than dusty prints in a shoebox or even things that you share on Facebook. With Heritage Makers, there are dozens of ways you can celebrate your stories, preserve your memories, and connect with others. Our foundation product is what we call the storybook. Now, back when Heritage Makers began, our founders did not want to call our customizable books simply photo books because they are so much more than photo albums. They are storybooks because they hold photos and written memories and beautiful artwork, all those things that combine to tell your one-of-a-kind life stories, big and small, simple and complex. All of our products are customized by you digitally and then printed in a state-of-the-art digital publication house using the highest quality materials, and we work very hard to ensure that our published products are of high quality and that our paper products are archival safe and made to last so that all these keepsakes can be enjoyed now and for years to come. And of course, we offer all kinds of other photo merchandise. Besides storybooks, we have printed calendars and prints, posters, mugs, ornaments, metal prints, canvases for your wall, handbags, playing cards, and a whole lot more. So in addition to making it easy for you to make professional quality custom keepsakes, we believe it's important to allow our customers to get as creative as they want. That's the fun part. That's why we have Studio. That's your place to create. A Heritage Makers account gives you ongoing access to Studio, which is our amazing online design program. where you have access to a rich library of digital art and product templates. Studio is really described as a scrapbooker's paradise because we have more digital paper, elements, embellishments, and word art housed in our system than any other system like it in the world. This allows you to tell your stories with style. And with Studio, there's no software to download. You can work online anytime from any computer, PC, or Mac. You can upload and store your favorite photos on our secure site, ready to use in your projects. You can customize your projects quickly and easily with our ready-to-made templates, so just really in a jiffy, or you can take your time and create your projects completely from scratch and have complete creative control, which is another feature that sets us apart from other photo merchandise businesses. Okay, so I already mentioned that we have the world's largest digital art and template library of its kind. Those who join us with free basic accounts can freely access and use what we call our basic portion of our digital library, our basic art, our basic templates. And these are great. There's a great offering there. But those who upgrade their Studio accounts to include Premier access, they can use every single thing we've got. Our Premier digital library includes currently over 10,000, it's actually at 11,000 pre-designed templates and 90,000 plus pieces of professionally designed digital art. So there's a lot there. Premier Access is something that we charge for $19.95 a month, and it has lots of benefits. In addition to access to all our art and templates, it's a really great value. You can see some of the features on the screen. And people who digitally scrapbook especially understand the value of Premier, because normally digital scrapbookers pay for single art collections, and collections can include, 10, 20, 40 pieces of art. With Premier, they can use an ever-growing library of thousands of digital art collections. We purchase collections and add about, from 5 to 8 every single month. And all this art is organized, it's searchable, and it's there in one place. But we really don't want you to have to pay for Premier. We want to give it to our customers free, and this is how we do it. We do this for all our customers who join Club HM. Now, Club HM, the way I think about it, is as a frequent publishers saving club. Now, when we say publishing, what we mean is completing a digital project and then having it made, having it turned into a physical product in our press. So we don't want you to pay retail, neither do you. So what you do is you join Club HM, and we have currently three different levels of Club, and you get through Club from 25 to 33% discounts on retail on everything, all your projects. So you pay a monthly charge, and your monthly charge is converted into what we call publishing points. Publishing points are like credits. You use them to purchase products, and you can spend them right away, or you can let them accumulate in your account and use them later. So with Club, you are purchasing publishing points at a discounted price every month, and along with that, you're getting Premier Access free, which is a $20 a month value. And you can upgrade your Club membership, and you can cancel your Club membership online anytime. So if you want to get more details about our Club memberships, go ahead and visit our website and take the HM tour. You can also call customer support or talk to someone, a consultant that you know, and anyway, I know you can find out more if you're interested. I know that we've got quite a few longevity distributors and preferred customers on this call. Now, Heritage Makers is a brand of the longevity family, and we're happy to be part of that family. Our longevity distributors and preferred customers have a little special way they have to go in to sign up for their Heritage Makers account. So if you're a Youngevity preferred customer or distributor, this is what you do. You log into the Youngevity team member resources page and you click down on the Heritage Makers link, and then you'll see this page. What you'll want to do is click on this purple Get My Free Account button. And from there, you'll see this page, and you would enter your existing Youngevity ID, your existing Youngevity password into these boxes, and then create your account. And then you'll be directed to the Heritage Makers website, where you can start playing around and upload your photos, upgrade your account to Club, browse the template gallery, and take the HM tour, all of those great things. So with a Heritage Makers account, what can you do? Where can you start? So I think to answer those questions, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go live onto the Heritage Makers website and show you around a little bit. Okay, so here we are on the home page, and we've got a nice rotating ad there at the top. Heritage Makers home page is a nice place for you to begin if you'd like. If you click down here, you're going to go on the HM tour, which includes more detailed information about what we have to offer, our accounts, all the the club accounts, and there are some really great videos along this tour that tell you more about Heritage Makers. Here you can click and you can get our idea book. That's our catalog, and it has beautiful photography of beautiful completed projects, and that's a fun thing to look at. Now let's see, when you have an account and you've logged in, kind of your hub is this place called My Studio. And so we'll go ahead and go there now. Now this isn't the most attractive page, admittedly. We're going to be working on it to make it a little easier to see and understand where you are, but this is where you'll go a lot. This is kind of where you start, My Studio. From here you can go to My Account. That's going to give you information about your account, including orders and points you have and different things like that. So that's an important place to go. You've got My Photos, and we'll go talk about that in just a few seconds. We've got My Projects. Right here we're showing recent projects that I've been working on, but I haven't completed yet. These are in the works, so if I were to click here on this one, I would go into Studio and be able to begin working here on this project. I can view all my projects by clicking this link, and basically we've got your projects divided into 3 buckets. The things you're working on, the things that you've completed, and the things that we call templates. They're also your favorites. These are projects that you may want to start sometime in the future, so you've put them in your templates. Anyway, that's what My Studio is. Now, before we go talk about My Photos, I want to show you 2 great things to know. If we come down here and click on Online Classes, we're going to go to a special tutorial page, and down here we've got some great resources for you. Here we've got some brief overviews of the system, a studio demo, and like a 5 or 6 minute card making class. We've got other written tutorials, and most of these tutorials also have photos, images to go along with them to illustrate what they're trying to teach. Over here we have upcoming classes. We used to call them Inspirations classes. Now we're calling them Studio U and Studio 101, and I'm sure we'll update this logo sometime soon. So, for example, here's the class we're on right now, and this is where maybe you came to register. We've got a Studio U coming up in a couple weeks. You can click here to register. It's all about wedding projects. It's going to be great. Here's our next Studio 101 class. Click here to register. And then we all try very hard to record our classes so that we can post them here. Down here you can get all sorts of classes because we go on back through the years. And this is the place you would come to see those past class videos. So that's a good place for you to be aware of. If we go back to My Studio, there's a couple other things I want to show you. Well, actually on all of our web pages, including in the Studio Editor, you'll see this green Need Help button. And if you click on it, it's going to ask you how we can help. Now, you can find a CS agent to chat with during our business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can also submit an email request or send in your question or concern. You can also search our knowledge base. Our knowledge base is a great place to go. So you can type in, like, you want to know about cropping your photo, and so you type it in, and we've got here's some articles that might be useful to you, and you click on there and go there. Also, if you come down, so we've got online classes, we've got our help over here, but this little link called tips and tricks, if you click there, you're going to go into our support center. In this area we call Studio Support. Here's some getting started articles. Here's basic editing and design articles. And you can see we've covered many, many topics. If you don't immediately see the topic you're interested in, again, go ahead and, I don't know, let's say a common question we have is, how do you make things into circles? So I'm just going to type in circle and look, how to crop a photo or object into a circle. So please know that those resources are there, as well as our Facebook page, our customer support, and others that you may know who are already well into heritage makers and can answer your questions. I know that we all love to help one another in these ways. So let's quickly start with My Photos. My Photos is what you click on to go to your photo organizer, and I'm going to go ahead and go over there. I pre-opened it because I have so many photos it takes a while sometimes to load. So in your photo area, what you have on the left are folders, and inside folders you will have albums. So right now I'm in a baby's album, but you can name and add all kinds of different albums. And instead of going with, through a detailed how to do this, it is fairly intuitive. Up here to add a new folder, you just click new folder and follow the prompts. Within a folder to add a new album, you just click new album and follow the prompts. You'd name the album, you'd create the album, etc. And here you can get information about your photos. You can see them, and you can add captions, you can change file names, you can re-download it to your computer at its full resolution. It's really great. You can go through, and you can also show the projects that a photo is in. Okay, so there, my mouse battery is low. Anyway, it's a great place to view. It's got lots of features here. I can just, minimize or not minimize, but I can make them smaller, make them bigger. It's fun. I want to show you one other thing. Today I added my scrapbook layouts. I've been scrapbooking since like the year 2000. Way back even before 12 by 12 pages were common. And where did I just put that? So I decided I ought to scan in my scrapbook layouts. So I did, and I'll go ahead and open that album. So my real life pages with all kinds of bits and bobs and buttons and thick pieces are now digital flat pages. And so, as well as having my wonderful albums that I've handmade, I'm going to take these images, they're JPEGs, and I'm going to put them in some books, so that I can share the wealth, so that I have 5 children, and I'm not positive they'll be fighting over my albums, but I would like to give them a nice compact version to take with them as they launch off into their own households. So I thought this might be interesting, because I know many of you have also been scrapbookers and probably have a lot of these type of things. Some of my pages are actually digital, because at one point around 2005 I started doing digital stuff, and so I have copies of, like, this is a digital page as well, and so I'm going to load those all in to several storybooks and get those published. Okay, so let's go back over to my studio. The next and most important place and most fun place we've got on our website is the template gallery. The template gallery is where you're going to go browse around and see all kinds of beautiful projects, templates, pre-designed things into which you can drop your photos, customize the text, make it your own. And of course, you can completely start projects from scratch. But when you're beginning, we like to suggest that you start with templates because it's just a little bit easier. So when I came to the template gallery, I'll do it again. I clicked just browse the gallery. I came into the whole gallery. Nothing is sorted. The search results show me that I have over 11,000 projects showing. And it would take me a long time to scroll down and look at every one. So, you know, you're free to do that, but if you're coming here for a particular reason, like you want to see digital scrapbooking products and templates, you can narrow your search over here on the left. We've got a lot of ways for you to narrow your search in the template gallery. And let's go ahead and do that. We'll click, well actually, why don't we click on greeting cards and invitations. There are a lot of those. And what it shows first, what comes up first, are the newest things we add to the template gallery. Often they're seasonal. But as you scroll down, you'll just continue to see cards of all kinds. In our greeting cards and invitations category, if I click this little arrow here to the left, we see there are many sizes of greeting cards. And so if I only want to see 5x7s, invitations are double-sided. They just have a front and back and they don't open up. I can deselect, or that's probably not a word, but uncheck the boxes, and now I'll only see 5x7 invitations. If I want to now see only those that are landscape orientation, I would click landscape, and now I'm only going to see the landscape ones. It gets interesting. You can really start to sort. I can, if I kind of identify and think that I might want to see only those things which we consider cleaner or a more contemporary look, I can select that box. I can also, designers, boy, I'm a real fan of a lot of these people here, but I'd really like to see Roxanne's stuff and only Roxanne stuff. So I'll click that, and now I'm seeing Roxanne. It's funny, it doesn't change a lot because so much of what's in our gallery is Roxanne. But just remember, when you want to start over, you'll want to reset the gallery. That's over here. Reset the gallery, and it will start you again from the beginning. Also, something that might be key to you, if you decide to be just a free basic member, you may want to just go ahead and click this basic, so that the only templates you see are those that are basic, those that you will have access to. Now when you click on a template, as you browse around, you think this is really great, I'm interested in that, I'll click on it and I get a more detailed view. I see the product details, I see the pricing details, and I see that this has a front and a back. I can click on the image again, and I can have a little closer look there at the front, and when I click that arrow there, I can see the back, and it's looking really good. I like this a lot. I see that it's a basic template, and I kind of want to personalize it, but I also want to go back and browse. So what I'm going to do is click this heart button. Heart means favorites. This project just went into my favorites, so I know I'll easily be able to find it later. I'm going to go back in the gallery and show you where to find your favorites. Way up at the top, if you scroll down and look on your left-hand side, down in this other options, you'll see my favorites. So click that, and these are the templates where you've put the little heart, you've clicked the little heart. These are things that you wanted to go back and look at again or for sure use in the future. So that's where you find those. You'll also find them in your templates from my studio. But Anyway, I think that's about it for the template gallery. I mean, from here, clicked on a template, you want to personalize it, you're just going to click personalize and it's going to prepare, and then you're going to click open and you're going to open into Studio. And I think that's where we want to turn it over to Roxanne, who actually has Studio open, and she's going to talk to you about the basics of personalizing a project. But before I do that, I feel the need to give away some more publishing points. So I need to make sure I've got all my attendees available here. Okay, there they are. So it looks like Rondi Hendrickson. Rondi Hendrickson is the winner of our next set of 20 publishing points. So Rondi, will make sure we get those into your Heritage Makers account right away in the next couple of days. And again, we do have your email, so if we need to contact you, we'll be able to do that. Okay, so Roxanne, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, so I'm going to scroll down this big list and find you and make you presenter. There we go.
Great.
Hopefully we'll get you soon here.
Great. You should be seeing it just about now.
Yep.
Great. Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to be on with you guys tonight. I love my Thursday night spending teaching in Studio. Studio is this great product. Things are so easy and simple to make. You can either use the templates, as Cynthia said, or you can also start from scratch. But since we have so many beginners on tonight, we're going to show you how to do a real simple project in Studio, starting with a template. So since our next holiday is St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to go ahead and go over here to the upper left-hand corner, and we always have the coming seasons or holidays kind of posted up in here. So there's all sorts of ways to sort and filter templates that you're looking for. But I go ahead and I start looking early and go ahead and search through the template gallery and start putting my favorites in. And then I can find them later in my favorites. So I'll go ahead and start looking for St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day things, and go ahead and start sorting those, and so I can work on them early ahead of the cycle so I'm ready to go when the time comes. All right, so let's kind of scroll down here. I know I've got one new family photo that I want to use in a St. Patrick's Day card. And actually this one here is cute. It's real simple and clean. I've got a horizontal photo. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one for showing you how to make a template. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And it gives you all the details here. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and personalize it. So it's preparing for me. Just going to take a second here. So it's getting all the pieces put together. And then I'm going to go ahead and open the project. And it is loading in now. And the bigger the project is, like storybooks will take a little bit longer to load in, and cards load in fairly quickly, so they're kind of simple projects to load. So you can see all the pieces loading in now. So here is what our actual studio looks like when we're up and open. First of all, you'll notice all these little boxes here. These are our design guides. When you're using a product for the first time, you'll need to read through those. It kind of tells you what all these little lines are for, like this little purple dotted line here. That's called our safe area. So you want to make sure that all your vital elements of your design are within that safe zone area. As during our printing process, sometimes in the trimming, it can be slightly off. So you want to make sure that all elements are within the safe area. There's also things, this isn't a storybook, it's just only a front and back over here. This will be your managed pages in a storybook, and you'll have all your different spreads going down the side. Here we just have a card, so we have the option of a front or a back. You just click on whichever page you want to work on, and it'll take you there. So you need to be aware of your crop marks. It gives you tips like make sure your background bleeds all the way off of the gray area here. Even though your trim is here, this gray area should be trimmed off. You want to go ahead and make sure that your background paper bleeds all the way off of that, just to make sure that the whole area is covered. imprinting. So get to know all your design guides, and then you also have the option if they're bothersome and cluttering up your space and you don't care for them, you can go up over here into the upper right-hand corner, and you can click on them and it turns it off to give you a nice clean work area. Let's see what else we need to know in Studio. This is your toolbox here. Whenever you click on an element, your toolbox becomes available. With pictures, you can adjust, scale, and rotate. We're just going to run through these real quick. You've got an effects tab here, which adds all the blur, transparency, drop, shadows, borders. This is a great thing to play in, and we'll learn more about this as we go on. And then layout. It gives you your X and Y coordinates if you want to be very exact in your measurements, sizes for photos, rotate tools, flip, and then align and distribute, which we will definitely learn a little bit more later. You can also go up here to your toolbox, not toolbox, your toolbar up here. Things like edit, you'll always need your copy and paste tools. View, rulers are a very important part. Show rulers, it's like your grid, so to help you line things up and organize things. Let's see, you can turn your rulers back off. Here is your zoom tools. The magnify glass, you'll want to go in on small details, go in very large if you can, and then if you want to go back to make the product the size of the page, just go ahead and click this button here. Of course, you can always make it smaller by clicking, or you can also drag it up and make it larger or smaller that way. Tools, arrange, sending things to back. I usually use, most things are in the toolbox here. So let's go ahead and start on this project here. As Cynthia showed you earlier, she uploaded all her photos. So down here, you'll find these tabs down here. You have My Photos, which brings up all your photo albums like you saw back in the original stages in at Heritage Makers on the main part of the website. You can also access them in your project here under My Photos. You've got text boxes, so you can just drag these up and it makes text boxes. Our art collections are all here under art. You can keyword search. We'll go through all of these in just a minute. My projects are all the projects that you're currently working on, including your unfinished projects and completed projects. They actually show you, if you were to open current project and click on the front page, it actually shows you all the pieces and embellishments and papers that were used on this page of the project. We also have a great quotes library. You can click on anything like birthday and it'll show you all these fun birthday quotes. And once again, you would just click on it and drag it up to your page, and then we can alter the font and such in the toolbox area. And we also have my favorite section where you can add favorite things into your collection so you can find them later with ease. All right, so let's go back now to our project. We're going to go find a photo first. That's our main objective. So over here in my photos, in the shared album, I have some stock photos here. And we're just going to show you how to drag and drop a photo to replace. Templates are very simple to use because they're already pre-designed by a designer who set them up according to all of our standards and has followed all the bleeds and in the safe zone. So everything is set up accurately and centered for you. All the hard work is done. So basically, you take your picture here. When you open a project, everything will be locked. And to swap anything out, a photo, paper, or embellishment, you need to have it in locked position. So this one's locked. You'll get this drag and drop button here. So let's scroll down, and I'm going to find a family photo. Let's see. Here's a good one. So all you're going to do is you're going to click on your photo. You're going to hold down your mouse button, and you're going to drag and drop it right into this area, and it automatically replaces. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're first starting is that they'll go grab a photo. Let's grab this one here, and you would think you would be able to drop it on the photo area somewhere, but that's not the case. It has to be right in this button area. If you drop it outside a little bit, it just sticks it right on top. So you want to drag and drop right onto that photo button swap area. Okay, so that's how you position that. And if this isn't exactly where you want it, once again, click on your photo, go to your toolbox, click on Tools, and we're going to hit the Adjust button. So you can kind of see the outer edges of the photo. So you can click and hold down and move it up and down, or let's scale it up a little bit to make it a little bigger so it fills up. We've got it positioned just right, and then we say Done. So that's how we replace our photo. Is everybody doing good with all that so far?
I believe everyone's with you. I believe everyone's with you on this so far.
Okay, great. We're going to move pretty quickly. We're going to hit a lot of the highlights, kind of the basic things that you need to know, and we will expand later on some of these more detailed things.
Wait, we did have a quick question. Is there an undo button?
Yes. You can do Edit, Undo, Control Z. It works on everything. I love that Control Z. So you just undo. You can do it several times. And there's that photo I had deleted. We can just keep kind of going back to the original one where we had it. So yeah, don't be afraid of doing anything. You can always put it back. And if you happen to delete something, let's say, let me duplicate this real quick. I just did a copy and paste. Oh, and I don't want that extra shamrock, so I'm going to hit the delete button. It goes away over to the trash can here. You can click on the trash can and find it again and just drag it back out. So everything you deleted is not lost. You can either go back and find it from the art collections or from your trash can.
Okay, so let me just explain something that I think we're kind of getting wonders about. When you we call it swapping in a photo, but when you see her change the photo, she's taking a photo from below in her album and putting it into, she's replacing the photo that's showing. She hasn't deleted it necessarily, but she's replaced it. The way to get the original photo back would be to do undo, but you can swap out. You can apply as many photos as you'd like, just like Roxanne was doing, to see what happens, to see how they look. She's trying them on for size. And when she decides, no, I really did want that first one with the little dog, she just grabs it again and puts it back in.
Yeah, so it's not placing one on top of the other. It's really swapping them out. Right, and we can go back to my projects tab here. Let's actually have to do a save here first. Do a save, go back, and it'll show you all the pieces. So the only photo that's showing is this new family that I've put in. The original photo of the baby is now gone. Great. So yeah, you can definitely play with photos and resize them. So just you always have to have whatever piece you're working on. Like if I want to change this photo, the toolbox looks blank right now, so you have to make sure that you click on whatever element you want to work on. So click on the photo, and then the Adjust button becomes available, and then scale and rotate, and then Done when you're finished. And the next thing we want to show is working with text. So the text here, you can tell text boxes. There's text from text boxes like down here. We can drag and pull up anything here if we want to add some new text. Or if you want to just edit what's already here, just click on text and then double click it, and you should get that little cursor there. If you can see that, let me go in a little bit bigger. So this one says Our Little Lucky Charm. Let's change that and just Our Little Lucky Charm. So we're just going to add an S onto the bottom of that. So that's real simple to change. You can type your family name here if you wanted to. Let me get to my all caps on. You can put your name up there, whatever you'd like to do. Same thing with down below. St. Patrick's Day, that all looks good. Let's say this is the Turner family. I've clicked on the text again, double clicked, and said Turner. Click on the next line, and let's say the names are John, Alice, Sam, and Tina. Something like that. So it's really simple and easy. We didn't even have to move anything out of place. If you want to change this happy, If you find any word art and you click on it, and I'm trying to double click on it right now and nothing's happening, that means that it's probably a piece of word art. It is not an editable text block. Once again, I go on and click on this one. I can highlight and double click on this one. This one I cannot do that to. So once again, if you're not sure, go down to this My Project tab down here, and you'll see this happy is actually part of this happy birthday that I've actually cropped out of it. So I just use this word. You can do special crops and stuff, and we'll learn that later. If perchance you wanted to say, we changed it at the top and we said the Miller family up here. So we didn't want to say the Miller family or Turner family down here. All you do is click on it. Anything with red around it will be in a locked position. You want to go over here to the unlock button at the bottom of your toolbox. Lock and unlock is very important. You're going to go ahead and unlock it. And that, once it's unlocked, you can move it around wherever you want, reposition it, or you can hit the delete key on your keyboard and it will completely remove it. And then here, if this text is locked, you can unlock it, and then you can move it back up here so it looks like it's a organized unit again.
Okay.
So everybody good with that? Yep, questions?
I think it is time to throw in some questions here.
Okay, great.
First of all, do we have to buy anything before we personalize templates? The answer is absolutely not. You can get a free basic account, and as long as you're customizing basic templates, you can do all of that as well, and you'll be using the basic art in your art collection. Looks like Roxanne's going to show us the difference.
Right. Yeah. So if you're only using basic, when you're back in the template gallery, Cynthia showed you how to just select the basic only. There are so many wonderful basic templates now available, as well as art collections. All you need to do here is when you're searching in the art collections, if you're just a basic member, go ahead and hide Premiere. So it will hide all the Premiere elements. There are lots of great things in the basic set to use. You can see all the different art collections here. Many of it, lots of chalkboard and patterns and vintage things and calendars. There's plenty to use on just about any template. We actually, a lot of times, we design just basic templates, and we're not limited to basically anything. We can do anything we want using the basic system.
Perfect. Okay, people are wondering about autosave. Do you need to save your project all the time and for fear of it disappearing on you?
It does autosave, but I think most of us just have that habit anyway of saving. So I periodically go up and just hit the save button and it saves it. You can I double click sometimes just to fill it in, and then I hit the save button, but it will auto-save for you. So sometimes if I do a design and I'm thinking I want to do a variation of it, I'll go ahead and save this design, get out, make a copy of it, and then play with something else so that I don't lose my original design. So just make a copy and then play on that one. So, because you don't want to do, 50 undos or something trying to get back to where you were. So it will auto-save though.
Perfect. Okay, now, how do we spell check?
Spell check, yes. Let's see. Let me type something incorrectly. Let's put 2 M's. Actually, it doesn't work with all capital letters, I've found out too. So let's just type it this way. So there, it's got the red squiggly line like you do in Word or any of the other programs. Unfortunately, our spell check is not working currently. So it'll just point you out that you've spelled something wrong. And a lot of times, obviously, that's just a typo, so it's easy to fix. If I can't figure out the spelling of a word, I'll just go and type it into Google or Word or something and find the correct spelling in and just do a copy and paste that way. You can go to Word, type in your document if you're doing a long storybook or something like that, do all the spell check, copy, and then copy it from a Word document and then come into your design, and you can actually paste it directly in so you don't have to type the whole book or story, whatever you're writing.
Very good. Okay. Some astute observer wonders, why does the picture not look totally clear?
Yes. It is because even though these are high-res images, Studio has a way of rendering it in a lower res version for us to view, because if we input everything at high res, it just takes up so much space within your studio, and on the servers it would just bog down your system. It would run real slow. So it just generates these low res versions of the original photo. But the way to double check to make sure that it is correct is if you click on your photo, it's locked here, because I'm getting this little button here, but if you go to your toolbox again, and down here if you hit the unlock button, you'll see that it has this green, what we call a green rubber band frame around the picture. Anytime you see the green rubber band, that means it's a high-res image and it will print perfectly. A lot of times we try to grab photos off of Facebook, or there's other low-res images. If you try to import those, it will actually come in with a red border. Anything with a red border we do not advise printing with on these card paper products. Sometimes if it's red, it'll be okay on canvases, because our canvas is a different texture and a different printing process. But let's say if we want to make this photo, like maybe I just wanted to use a little girl's face, so I'm going to grab this corner here, I'm going to drag it out as I'm making the photo larger. This is a high-res image, so see how it's staying, the photo's staying green? So I'm going to just keep dragging. See, did you see how it turned from green to yellow? This is where it's kind of getting stretched a little too far, and as I keep stretching, it'll go from yellow to orange. Let's get a little whiter here. Oh, it reset. I'm going to drag again, grab the corner, and it'll stretch all the way to red eventually. So you don't want to do something like that. It's just stretched beyond its means. So go ahead and just double check all your photos when they're imported. Unlock them and double check. Anything with the green border is going to be fine. And the same thing applies to embellishments too. If I do a copy and paste here of the embellishment, it's green. But as I begin to stretch it, it too will start eventually changing color. Actually, this one's pretty good. This one's high res, but sometimes the little tiny buttons and stuff, they're just not meant to be huge across the page. So you just don't want to do this. It'll start getting low res and start to blur when it's printed.
Yeah, sorry, you can't make a 2-foot by 3-foot entire shamrock canvas.
But we do not advise that.
So with photos, if you start with a low res photo, you're going to end up with a low res photo. But when you bring in your standard photos from your cameras, they're going to be fine, and just let that outside border be your guide. Does any of the art expire if you buy art? Is it yours? I mean, do you get to use it?
It's forever. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's
like
you
best
can use it
friends forever.
Yeah, forever and ever. So as you know, our collection just keeps growing by the month. It's amazing how many pieces we have. I think we're over 100,000 now. You can use them as many times as you want. It'll save in your book that you've published. You can go back to that book later if you want and publish other copies, but the art does not expire.
Right, and again, you don't have to pay for the art. The art is there, it's yours to use. You can use basic art with your free basic account, but if you pay for any kind of Heritage Makers account, whether it's a Premier account or a club account, all the art in our huge art library is yours to use all the time. So you don't have to select and purchase groups of art. It's all there, it's all for you. Let's see, what about fonts? Can we use fonts from our own computer?
We cannot do that at this point. We are limited to the ones that are loaded. Let me go in and show you here. So once you click on, some text you're going to edit, I didn't edit the font before. If you go over here to your toolbox, click on Tools, you'll see all the different fonts available over here. We've got a pretty good selection. There's lots of different kind of fun typefaces. If you just kind of toggle over each of the font names, you'll see the different ones that we have available. So, some are more modern, some are scripty. So all you do, let's say we wanted this in a script typeface, we'll just select the text box and we'll go over here to, let's try Rainy Day. Then it makes it kind of small, but you can bump up the point size here. You can either drag it across and make it bigger this way. And then if your type gets getting cut off here, my box is too small, all you do is grab the edges. You'll get this little arrow tool here. You just drag the box open more so to kind of expose all of your text. And once again, since you drag the text box open, you'll want to recenter everything. So go ahead and go View, Rulers, and show your rulers and turn on your rulers, and you'll see that this is your center line here. You'll kind of count the boxes across. And so you'll just want to, you can use the arrow tool and just kind of click it a couple times to bring it over, or you can just manually bring it over and line it up on that line. And then I usually relock it into place so I don't accidentally move it when I'm trying to play with something else. And I'm going to turn off the rulers again. Great. And then a lot of times, too, we are limited in some of our fonts. We've got a fair amount, but there's always something else that we could have. A lot of the designers, and we are working on art collections that are purely made of word art. So they're all these fun, you know, we do all the real standard things like all the holidays and the happy birthdays. We've come up with these great word art that they're already made for you. They're pre-made. They're not editable, but you can crop them in different ways that you can put different pieces of words together here, like I did with this Happy St. Patrick's Day. If I were to copy and paste that, let me turn it back to black. If I click on Tools, I can remove the crop, and I can see that this was my original piece of art here. So all I did was, with any embellishment, word art, photo, you would just use this under Tools, Crop, and then you just click and drag around the area that you'd like to crop, and then done. So I've just made my happy, and then I could replace it or do whatever I wanted to. So always remember, if you grab the corners, it'll make things bigger or smaller. I'm just dragging in or out. This little tool here at the top is like a little handle, and that's how you rotate things, photos, text, embellishments. That's your rotate, so that's real important to know. Let's see, and we'll just delete that one. Let's see.
So Roxanne, we only have about 6 minutes left, and a lot of the people on tonight are very interested in art. Let's go ahead and show. In fact, we have a question that I think you might particularly like to answer, and it's about Civil War artwork, kind of vintage USA patriotic Civil War type artwork.
Yep, we've got a lot of that. Let's see.
Yeah. So the question is really, do we try to meet needs? Do we try to meet requests? And the answer is yes, but I think the answer is also, you're going to be surprised when you really dig in what kind of art we have. So take it away. Sorry, Roxanne.
Yep, that's okay. No, you're great. So art collections, we have a little bit of everything, and we do take requests. A lot of the in-house designers, including Cynthia and myself, also are creating art collections specifically for what you guys are asking for. Spend some time getting to know our art collections. Like here, I just typed in vintage. This keyword search, you can do one or more words, and I just go ahead and hit the, I'm going to deselect, I want to see Premiere in this case. Hit Enter after you've typed in your keyword search, and we have tons of great vintage things. This is actually a basic collection here. You can click on it and see a little bit here. You get these little previews. I've got some vintage Canadiana stuff. There's Western things, there's Americana, World War II things, and if you say, oh, I'm interested in this collection, go ahead and open this collection, and it'll show you all the different pieces within the collection, you know, ration stamps and badges and, you know, Western Union things and papers. So the first is embellishments, papers, and as you scroll down, there's word art associated too, like I was talking to you about before, which can be colorized. So anything you want to search, like we can search in Easter now. So it'll show you at top all the different Easter collections we have. So you could spend hours looking through our collections. It's just amazing the amount of things that we have. You can even get more specific, like Easter egg purple, and it'll show you all the Easter eggs we have in purple. So it's really endless. We have a lot of JPEG elements too, which can be colorized. So we've talked about that before in some of our other Studio U classes, but we can go over that again too in one of these future basic classes. But just about everything you could possibly be looking for, we've got at least one or two elements, if not a whole collection's worth, and we are continually working on new collections all the time. So, and we do, we look for requests and people asking for certain things, and we do our best to meet those needs.
Absolutely. So, do we have drop shadows? Yes. Do we have a way to change the text color? Yes. Do we have licensed artwork like Disney stuff and Hello Kitty? Not really. I don't know if that will ever really come in our future, but we have Disney-esque artwork.
Right, yeah.
And we have many things that are, help you create those type of licensed artwork projects that give you at least the feel of it.
Right. We've got a lot of those.
Yeah, and our art is not compatible with any other graphics or digital design program. Our art is all contained within our system, and so no, you cannot export our art and use it elsewhere, but you can import. If you're a person who has bought digital art collections, you can add them to your own personal photo album just the same way you'd add photos. If they're a PNG format or a JPEG format, you can add those to your photos and drag them up and use them as art. So let's see, our storybooks, do they come in a lay flat option? Right now we have one lay flat option. It's an 8.5 by 11.5, but boy, do we want to make our people happy. And we've had some clamoring for 12 by 12 lay flat storybook options, and I can tell you as the product manager that it's not going to be too much longer, and we should be seeing one of those for you. So let's see.
Great. So I was just showing while you were talking. Yeah. The drop shadows are under effects. You'll just need to play here all these different things. So you just click on whatever element you want that turns it off. That'll turn it off, and you can play with the distances and like different colors if you want to, lighter or darker. To change text color under tools, you'll notice right by the font and the size, there's also this color. We have this little eyedropper. You can pick from any of these colors here, or the best thing is you can click on the little arrow, your eyedropper, you can pull out any color from your photo so it matches exactly. It's wonderful. So play with that eyedropper tool a little bit too to get all the color fills.
Beautiful. And oh boy, darn it, it's 8 o'clock already.
I know, that means it goes so fast. Time
flies, but we really appreciate everyone's participation tonight. And remember, there are resources on that website, on our HM website, where you can go search some terms if you have specific questions, and very likely you'll get your answers, and if not, you can call in or email customer support. But what we're going to do is in a couple Thursdays from now, we'll have a Studio U class where Roxanne will show us some more techniques in Studio. They might be a tiny bit more advanced, but we still try very hard to answer the questions that come in. And then on March 27th, I believe, it's the Thursday, just like this, we'll have this class, Studio 101, and we'll just kind of continue it on from here. So we won't go and do all that stuff I did at the first. We'll just start from designing and get more into that. So thanks again. I think before we go, I must give away a few more points because I sure appreciate your attendance. Vicki Lewis, thanks for joining us, and Brooke will be putting 20 publishing points into your account in the next couple of days. So thanks, Roxanne.
You're welcome. It's happy to be on, and I'll see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Very good, and thanks to Brooke for answering questions online for us, and thanks to you all for joining us, and we hope you have a happy evening, and we'll see you on our next class. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.